The maximum amount of clients that we can have on our caseload is 20, as opposed to as a probation officer. Some probation officers have in excess of 100, and it makes it so much better when you're able to see the clients weekly. You know what's going on in their lives. You know some of the things that they need. Also, if by some chance you don't see them one week, you catch them the next week, as opposed to going a month without seeing them. So that has really been an asset to me, and not having a caseload that's overwhelming. It's just about right.
Hello, I'm Bill Byars. I'm the Director of the Department of Juvenile Justice for the state of South Carolina, and I'm delighted to have this chance to talk to you about a new program that we're putting in, which we call intensive supervision. When I came to the agency originally, we had been involved in a lawsuit that had gone on for more than a dozen years. It pushed the agency in certain directions that made us have to concentrate on what we call the back end of the system, or the deep end of the system, which are the incarcerated youth. And yet we all know that most of the youth are in our community. But in order to reach to the community, where we are now with our intensive supervision, we had first to correct some deficiencies that we had in the agency. So one of the things that we have done is create our intensive supervision. We got a federal grant, and for 3 years we looked at intensive supervision. We followed the numbers. We found that we could lower the recidivism rates substantially if we had intensive supervision. So then we began to work on how do we keep this, how do we expand this. We now have in this state over 50 intensive supervision officers. They can only have a maximum of 20 children. But that is 1,000 kids, 1,000 children who are probably the most likely to get in trouble again, who will have the most help when they get out. We want every child who is removed from their community and who is placed in a DJJ paid-for bed, whether it's here in our long-term institution or over in our wilderness camps or our group homes, we want each one of those children, when they go home, to have an intensive supervision officer. Not to catch them more, but to prevent them from doing things that get them in trouble.
Well, one of our jobs as intensive supervision officers is to come and visit the kids behind the fence while they are committed. And this helps us to prepare for the kid coming out into the community, as well as get to know the child and learn their challenges, what they face on a daily basis, and what their challenges may be when they come out into the community. We are required to visit the kids once a month, but we come as needed, more if it's needed, and we also meet with the social workers so we can get that treatment aspect as far as knowing the kid and getting to learn the kid on a treatment standpoint. I came to meet with one of my kids today, and she did want to discuss her mother. Her mother did abandon her when she was at a young age, and her mother was on drugs for about 13 years, and she just wanted to talk about how she may not be able to express that anger, but she is mad because she did have to take on that role as the mother and look after her younger brother. She also had to take over all the chores, such as cooking, cleaning, and helping her father. And she just wanted to discuss the fact that she knows that life is not fair, and she did not get to have a childhood like many kids do. But now that she's matured, she's ready to come back into the community and pick up those same jobs, but feel good about them now and not feel like life's not fair.
I really enjoy being able to work with them on the individual basis, on their individual interests, and a lot of times it involves after hours and making those connections and talking to people before they even come home, just to be able to make sure that they're willing to work with them and putting their story out there and being able to establish those links back home.
I see them weekly. I get an opportunity to take them out. I've taken them out job hunting, to vocational rehab, to try to get their GED. I've taken them to adult ed. I go and I work with the guidance counselors, principals, teachers. It's just being an advocate for the juveniles.
Well, when he comes on his visits, we usually talk about some of the colleges I can go to, about some job interviews and some jobs I can go to, and then like he'll take me out to go and really go get like some stuff I need like for a job. He'll tell me to call him up and let him know that I need a ride or whatever.
You know, not only is he an officer, but he's a friend that I can call at any time and say, hey, you know, I need help in this, what should I do? And if he don't have the answers, he'll get it and he'll say, well, let me call you back if it's anything that you need. And I said, well, and he does. He's real good. He's real good about everything.
He has came to my house on a few occasions to help talk or be a mediator between me and my father when we've had our arguments, you know, and he's just helped a lot. I can call him and talk to him whenever I'm having trouble and I need someone's advice on something before I go out and make a mistake. He wants to make sure that I know what right from wrong and that I'm not going to mess up again, because he sees the potential that I have and he wants me to fulfill that and do everything I can to be on the right path.
There's just so much more you can do with smaller caseloads. You know the family. I mean, you know the brothers, the sisters, the sisters' kids' names. You know, when otherwise I would never remember the parents' name. I'd be calling them Miss or Mr. or whoever. You know, I never got that first name rapport with the families that you can now and do now. The folks who are intensive supervision officers are some of our very best probation officers and counselors. They are going to have a major impact on these young folks' lives. They will change lives. They will, by changing those lives, make our community safer, because we are doing this for the children, because we do have a duty to rehabilitate them, but we're also doing it for our own communities and our own neighborhoods, because we want to be safe. We've got to give these children a chance. Intensive supervision officers, give them that chance. I recommend to you most highly this intensive supervision program as being one of the ways that we can do our job here at DJJ and our job as citizens better. Thank you very much.